Ba-da-ba-ba-ba, I'm licking it.
I've got balls of steel.
Oh.
All week long.
All rise, order in the court and such. And hello, Rochelle, and everybody else jumping in. Got something we're a little bit late, I promise. It was worth it. I apologize too, but something had just happened, and then we lost the video. But I still had the video on my phone, so it's going to be a little awkward, a little weird here, but...
And it's strange because I went over there. I've never been there, and the video is still up, but you can't play it. It just spins and spins and spins.
Well, something happened.
Something definitely happened to this guy. So, really, how did you find this gentleman in the first place?
I just, as usual, I searched through the different court stuff, and he had that tagged. I always like to, before we
so this is the guy on his way to court.
I'm not sure if he's on the way to court or he was specifically just going to court just to rile up some things. So this is also a little bit of a test to see if you guys want a little bit of this stuff, because we're honestly going to get triggered here like instantly on a Monday morning or afternoon, wherever you are. It's FYI.
Viewer discretion is advised. There will be a bit of adult language from what I've heard. Just a little bit.
Yeah. So let's get into it. And here he is. He's a pastor, by the way. Just saying.
Yes.
Hello. Today is Monday, August the 8th, in the year of our Lord, 2022. This will be the second time at the courthouse. Last time I was arrested Monday. I got released a couple hours later for trespassing on public property. On public property, that is, for sitting there and having a sign teaching about adultery. I was arrested last time.
That was a sign about adultery?
Yeah, adultery. Do we need to learn what that is? I think a lot of people know.
Guys, I watched the end of this. This was just ending. Right before we went live, and I was out checking the traffic and weather together. And like I said, we can't pull it up on YouTube, but I had it on my phone. So if you're like watching a live, like that was the only way. So I had to mirror it from my phone. And in a minute, I'm gonna have to plug it in because I'm like at 11%.
They said that I was cursing. I told them I don't fucking curse. A curse is a coyote. And in this courthouse, they are literally not giving them jury of 12, removing these kids without a jury of 12, making them less than $20 value. Now, Christ says, don't give your pearls to swine. That is the adulterer that will trample them. They eat holy words, part the hoof with the holy word, and trample you. And they turn to kill you. So as I told them, this is, what I say is natural salt from God, so that I can answer every man. And if you're doing fuck all goddamn evil oath breaking, how the fuck do I tell you and tell the people who are goddamn going against God and evil goddamn fucking oath breaking?
This guy's an odd preacher.
The words I have cannot be a curse word if they are true. Is not oath breaking.
FYI, the guy's name is Preacher Blair.
Yeah, if you want to check out his YouTube channel. But yeah, so again, I'm not sure if this guy is one of those auditors. I don't know if he's a sovereign citizen. I'm not really sure what's going on.
It's kind of up in the air as far as which one he falls under at the moment.
Damned is not sinning. Goddamned is not saying a kid is a cursed toad. Goddamned. Well, then what the fuck I am saying cannot be a curse word. And by fuck, I mean you're trying to.
By the way, just FYI, he is at a courthouse, so it kind of falls under everything. And
a stone's throw from the courthouse. And if you see, he's this is his second time at the courthouse. He is making his way into the courthouse.
I believe. And yeah, this has happened. What, last week? He said it was a catch and release. He was
So he's back again, taking care of court.
Right. And therefore, as I say, it's fucking goddamned. It's
Hello,
fucking
Robert.
goddamned. And therefore, you cannot infringe upon my free speech, because then, as George Washington said,
5%.
I will go to the slaughter, not just a dumb sheep, but a silent dumb sheep. And as Christ said, don't give your salt to man, lest they trample it underfoot.
Angela.
And you'll be no good. So if I let you conduct my words, which I speak, then I say my God is no good. The words he grew me up with is no good.
Grew me up with.
Giving you my entire freaking salt that my God gave me. Now, if I let you control my words, then you would be my God. And I would have no God at all. That's why we have free speech in the First Amendment. Well, now you're trespassing. I can't be trespassing on public property. It's my property. And there is no way you can trespass on public property ever. Not after hours, not anytime. If your taxes pay for public property, it's yours. So as I proceeded to tell them this, and the First Amendment, that you have the right to assemble, you have the right to speak. And so as we went over this, not precisely in this way, but notify them, as you'll see on this video, if they try again, because I told them I'll be back. So, as I told him last time, because the whole time he booked me, I went over his 10 commands, because I kept reminding him, what's your oath? What's your oath? Well, a judge says you got to go. Well, I don't care what a judge says. That's my employee. That's my servant. Judges don't rule. Rule the jury, and they teach the people. In our country, we have juryous answers.
It might be, Amy.
And as the Bible states, a juryous act is the better act. If you can't convince 12 people, you shouldn't do it.
Hell of a cameraman.
And so we're going back up there today to go, well, this time we're going to get it on my camera. They said their body armor's on, but I know not. But I literally am educating them the entire time.
Oh, we're all getting an education
what we're
today.
going to do is we're going to get arrested again. I left off at the 10 commands. I hope it's the same officer. Because now we'll go into the 10 Bill of Rights. Went into why you put God first, that's God's first command. Adam, you may eat freely. You know why he said may?
No.
Because of shit men that will swear falsely in God's name and not keep their oath. Because they'll fucking serve outsiders for a goddamn Benedict Arnold hourly pay. At least Benedict Arnold got land, title, and lordship. And he did one betrayal.
I thought he was talking about a different Arnold.
They break the most valuable thing all the day long. And then they go about it so they should fucking rule anyone at all. Are you a faithful man, or do you just profess and you are not worthy to be trusted at all in anything? They are not worthy. For if one repents to God, does God's words. And God's 10 commands have always been on this earth.
That's not good.
They're so good, they're in heaven too.
Benedict McDonald.
Christians know what it means if they're true. Yeah, rest. God's already done. Stop doing divorce. You can't do that, hon. God makes marriage, you see? And
hello, Hugh.
You can't do divorce without going against the Lord.
I have a feeling somebody left him.
Are we in agreement? We've seen enough. We can skip to where he gets to the court, basically.
Well, we all know pretty much got an idea what kind of guy he is. He's very angry.
And is the Lord over the husband?
I mean, he's saying the same shit over and over again.
Why
basically.
is the man the Lord over the wife? Because he dies for her. And if he
he's got a guitar.
He ain't no man. And
another one with a guitar, Mike.
It's a go-to.
And she's not appointed for this.
You.
She is like a dog. Literally, on average, because she bleeds the blood to bring y'all in, she's not ready for another fight, man. Life has been ripped from her.
Are we going to sing or?
Her life. It's ripped
Preach and
from
strum
her.
the guitar, I guess.
Crucifixion, mutilation of flesh. Many of them die. No man wants this test. No man wants to go do that. None that I've ever met. That's a fact. No, it put me on what to do. does what she does
It
with the
softens
lie.
the blow.
You
I
have
figured it out.
It's a 10-month.
If you have an instrument, it softens the blow of what you're saying. So, like with him and all his rhetoric, and the other guy in the car, if I'm like, "We need money, we need money, that ain't money."
All right, so now you're just an artist. And you're not really begging for money, basically. And
Exactly.
Gotcha.
Crucifixion. This is what your godfather has answered. This is what they go to hide. Now, every boy knew this when he was born. No lie. He forgets it as he goes. He gets led away. And this is what the Father intended, because Adam in his stead above heaven and earth, in heaven above earth, made a prophecy that a son will leave his father and mother and join to his wife. Well, now in order to do that, you have to give your life. You have to live it. Hey, how's it going? This is the officer that arrested me last time. I'm ready to get arrested. I'm trespassing, correct? Is that not what you said? Sweet.
We don't want that happening.
I'm at public court. I don't care what you want. We're at public court property, correct? Correct? No, you can't trespass at public place. You told me to leave for doing what I'm doing right now. Yes. You told me to leave for doing what I'm doing right now. Yes. Okay. Just make sure. So you can do what you need to do. So let's do it. Because I'm not moving. And I'm not going to let you edit my words, because it's not illegal to stand in your rights on this earth. So this will be the second, third, fourth, fifth time. You can't trespass on public property.
Yeah, you did arrest.
No, you can't trespass here.
After you did yes, you did.
Which was what? Doing what I'm doing now.
No.
Yes.
Disturb the peace by Logan and
You can't disturb the peace sitting in front of a public place doing what I'm doing now. No, you have a witness that I was doing this. Vulgarity is
Not him.
You cannot infringe my free speech. Fuck that. No, that's bullshit. I'm not disorderly. I'm sitting down.
F that. I ain't using no
Now,
vulgarity.
faithful men
Yeah,
are
man.
liars. Right now, what is your oath? Free speech? No, I'm not going. So tough me. So let's do this. You shut my phone down. All right, so I'm now being arrested. Without a warrant.
Arrested.
Well, can I turn it off?
Look at it. I love it.
Before you fuck with it.
Stop.
Careful with the
Oh my
guitar.
God. Now they're
And that's it. That's where it cut.
Cuffed him and stuffed him, Creed.
I figured that was worth the watch because it's,
It definitely was. That guy is a
Sergeant, have you had a chance to play the first appearance video?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Sergeant Gross.
I like people
Ladies and
like
gentlemen,
that, by the
gentleman
way, and I
Wade
love
Murphy
seeing
from
them
the
get
County Sheriff
arrested.
in Jackson County
Oh.
doing first appearances this morning. On your video out there, you're going to see me. Hopefully, you're also going to see the two attorneys involved. Actually,
Where we
met
at?
Mr.
Is it
McDaniel in
Florida?
person.
Yeah,
John
Florida.
McDaniel is the lawyer covering first appearances for the Public Defender's Office. I know that you met him in the courtroom. We have the prosecutor, and I'm going to ask that he introduce himself now.
Lawrence Gill on behalf of the state.
So I said, you don't have a warrant. You arrested me without a warrant.
Yes, sir.
his logic.
Well,
He
it
just
works.
sleeping anywhere that's a public place and live there. Uh-oh.
Mr. Carter, good morning. Mr. Carter, you're here because you've been accused of one count of violation of injunction. And Mr. Carter,
Maybe it's
I
time for
read the
somebody that's got one of them
complaint, and there
good.
is probable cause. It looks like the
mess up.
judge over the weekend held you until today. Mr.
All
Gill,
weekend.
Mr. McDaniel, as far as I know, he's entitled to a bond. It's a allegation of violation of injunction. Do you agree he's entitled to a bond, Mr. Gill?
I do, Your Honor.
And Mr. McDaniel, obviously you agree he's entitled to a bond?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Carter, I'm going to go ahead and set you the normal bond I set for these cases. Mr. Carter, I know that you've had a long time employment. That's a factor in your favor. What appears to be in the complaint, though, Mr. Carter, is the complaint says alcohol was a factor. So I'm going to have a condition, no alcohol on the bond. The bond sets a normal bond. I set the violation of injunction, Mr. Carter, which is $5,000 cash or surety. Mr. Carter, I don't have a problem with a cash-only bond in this type of case. If you prefer that, Mr. McDaniel, have you had a chance to talk to him about that option, or do you want a second to talk to him about that possibility?
Yes, Your Honor.
Oh, he's giving them an option here. Don't typically see. I guess because the guy's been employed for a long time and hasn't been in trouble.
I like how this guy can mute and
Little thing, yeah.
and give him
And he wears that blue thing because he tried to hurt himself. Is that right? Is that what I understood?
Yes, Your Honor. We'll set
or
the
that they were
cash
just a
for-
risk.
Mr.
believe.
Gill, any objection to that?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, so Mr. Carter, I'm going to set you a $500 cash-only bond. You post that bond, you'll be released. Now, Mr. Carter, listen to me. Two things about the bond. Because of the this is just not typical with you, Mr. Carter. You haven't been in trouble in a long time. So I'm going out on a limb and saying the alcohol may have contributed to this charge. So there's going to be a condition, no alcohol on your bond, Mr. Carter. You can't possess or consume alcohol. And the other thing is the no contact, the conjunction is still there. The injunction that Judge Garcia issued is still there. So you've got a condition, no contact on this bond, no contact the Ms. Watford. So no contact with the alleged victim. Mr. Carter, hopefully you post that bond and get out of there today. Get back to work. So please stay away from Ms. Watford and no alcohol until we can kind of get this thing sorted out. Mr. Carter, the last thing is I'm going to go ahead and ask the jail to give you a notice for your court date. The reason for that is I don't want you to I don't want to mail one to
Is
you.
the attorney Alex Jones?
Chance of getting lost in the mail. It's just easier and cleaner if we give you a notice today. Which arraignment docket would he be on, Don? August 29th at 9 a.m. be your court date, Mr. Carter, and the jail can give you that in writing. They'll give you a notice. Mr. Carter, you will not get a notice in the mail. The notice they're going to put in your hand before you leave the jail will be the only notice you get. Do you have any questions?
No, Your Honor.
I wish you the best, sir. We'll see you soon.
I can't make this any bigger, and he's not in court anymore. But is that possible that is
The wheelchair guy? It's. If I had to guess, I would say no. I remember.
Oh no, you're right. Yeah, look, I mean, there's big difference between piss. I see a wheelchair in court at double
You get
30.
excited. Yeah, you just
I get excited, and I think it's piss boy. You know,
no, that's not him. What do you
Glad
think
we
this
looked
guy
at it.
did?
Is that Jim that got his nose
Jones, you're here
broken?
because you've been charged with one count of domestic
Jim
battery by
Jean-
strangulation. I believe the judge covering yesterday held you until today. I did read the complaint.
Kinda looks
There is
like him
probable
from
cause,
afar.
Mr. Jones, and it looks like you're on state probation out of Bay County. You're still on probation down there, correct?
Is this low for anybody else or just me?
So,
who
Mr. Jones,
can't
If it's
set
hear?
low,
your
I
bond
can
at
turn it up.
$2,000 cash or surety.
You guys let us know in the
Set a
chat.
higher bond for individuals who are already on supervision, like yourself. So your bond's going to be $10,000. Your bond's going to have a condition, no contact with the alleged victim. Mr. Jones, that means no contact whatsoever. I am going to hold you for 10 days. The reason for that is I want to give time for the probation office to see if they're going to be able to get a warrant for violation of probation or not. I have no idea if they will, but I want to give them that opportunity. Mr. Gill, he's on probation in Bay
Way
County
bigger.
for two case numbers, 20-4474 CF and 20-4475 CF. So if y'all please notify the probation office of his arrest.
Yes, Your Honor.
I'd
I saw
appreciate
that.
it.
Wasn't just me then. All
Thank
right.
you. So, Mr. Jones, I'm going to see you in 10 days. If they have
Hallelujah.
we're gonna
Thank you. Welcome.
honor it, see what the judge does with whether or not it has a bond. If they don't have a warrant within 10 days on that 10th day, then I'm going to release that hold on you. And if you post a bond here, you'll be released from
Have
custody.
to be in
Mr. Jones,
nickels, dimes, and
if that
pennies,
10th
Dave.
day falls on a weekend or a holiday, I'll see you the next working day. Mr. Jones, do you have any questions?
No, sir.
Have a good day. Next case is Lacey
Oh, it's the
Guidry.
Werman.
Hey now. Hey now.
Ms. Guidry, good morning. You're here for first appearance. Accused of one count of giving a false name. Ms. Guidry, I'm going to appoint the public defender's officer to represent you and ask that you listen to Mr. McDaniel, your attorney.
Your Honor, I spoke to Ms. Guidry at this point in time. She's going to enter a plea of no contest to giving a false name, the understanding that she's going to be sentenced to 30 days in the county jail, $370 fine. She'll have
You're in
3
the
days
club
jail
now,
credit.
Pass.
Went over the rights with her, and she's going to waive her right to a jury trial and call witnesses, and she signed the waiver.
That is agreeable with the state, Your Honor.
Thank you both. Ms. Guidry, did you hear that agreement, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
And Ms. Guidry, do you have any questions about that agreement?
No, sir.
Ma'am, is that the plea that you would like to enter?
Yes, sir.
It may be the mask. I couldn't hear. Did you say yes, it is, or no, it's not?
Yes, sir.
Ms.
Yes,
Guidry, I'm
sir.
going to accept your, okay. I'm going to accept your plea of no contest with the charge of giving false name, ma'am. I'm going to adjudicate you guilty of that misdemeanor. I'm going to sentence you to 30 days in the Jackson County Jail. I'm going to give you credit for the time that you've served.
Don't you think
which
it's
appears to be
usually
3
like
days.
a sister's
I'm gonna
name
order
or something?
court
You
calls
know
and
what I mean?
fines of 300
I like to think she gave him the name Thelma Bloomer Pudding.
and $70, ma'am.
Great.
If you get those worked off at the jail, then that's great. If you don't, there'll be a civil judgment against you if you don't
Thanks
get
to
them worked off for that
CVS.
amount. And Ms. Guidry, there's no probation in this sentence. You finish this sentence, you move on with your life. Ms. Gidry, do you have any questions?
No, sir.
Well,
Have a
put
good
it in
day.
a much better way. Oh, Matt.
Thomas Bell is next. Mr. Bell, good morning. Mr. Bell, you were first appeared this weekend. The judge set you a bond.
You're laughing
and
about
misdemeanor and
Mikey.
gave you an RR and felony.
What's so funny?
Mr. Bell,
Boobs
Um,
Mickey cracks
set
me.
no bond in the violation
Uh-huh.
of state probation, like you heard me explain
Okay.
with Mr. Jones. Mr. Bell, we don't hold people indefinitely for violation of probation charges unless there's a signed warrant. The reason for that is you just don't get on a docket until there's a warrant signed. So you could be sitting there months if we did that. So instead, what we do is we put the burden on the probation office to get a warrant within 10 days. That's what I'm going to do in your case. I'm going to change the indefinite violation of probation hold to a 10-day hold. They have 10 days starting today, Mr. Bell, to get a warrant. And if Judge Garcia signs a warrant, she will be the one to decide if there's a bond on it or not. Not myself. So I'll see you in 10 days. We'll see if there's a warrant. If there is a warrant, we'll see if it has a bond on it or not. And we'll go from there. If that 10 days falls on a weekend or holiday, I'll see you the next working day. Mr. Bell, do you have any questions? Have a good day, Mr. Bell.
Sound like he's getting, I'm
After
not saying he's
Mr. Bell
getting
is Patricia
railroaded.
Godwin.
He's just sitting there waiting and waiting and waiting. And now we're just going to give it more time to wait to find out if anybody wants them or not.
Right. Do a speedy trial, as they say. But I mean, if you got a bunch of warrants and stuff, troubles. That's the thing.
Ms. Godwin, good morning. Ms. Godwin, you were here on a 10-day hold on the violation of probation case, ma'am. Ms. Godwin, Judge Garcia emailed me this morning a copy of the warrant, ma'am. She has signed a no bond warrant on the violation of probation.
Oh,
So you do have a no bond in the violation of probation. I'm going to try to give you a court date in just a second, or at least tell you when your court date will be. Ms. Godwin, you do need to understand that now that you've been only charged or accused of violation of probation, ma'am, I want to get you a lawyer appointed. That means going through what's called an arraignment process. Ms. Godwin, if you want to have an attorney appointed, I can go ahead and do that this morning, ma'am, and get you one appointed. Do you want to have an attorney appointed in the VOP, ma'am?
Yes.
I'm going to appoint
Good
the
call.
commissioner's office to represent you, ma'am. Listen to Mr.
like
McDaniel,
Nancy.
and then I'm going to give you some more information.
Your Honor, we're going to plead of not guilty.
All right. So
Looking, they all get out.
so
Here, they just get
you
10-day
know,
holds.
At this time,
Yeah, they just keep them. I'm not
today
sending nobody
is
home.
cut off for the next VOP docket. So you did make it, ma'am. The next VOP docket is August 16th. So since you were first appeared today, you will be on that VOP docket next Tuesday. Had you got first appeared tomorrow, you wouldn't make it to the following docket. But since you got first appeared today on the cutoff, you're gonna be in VOP court next Tuesday, not tomorrow, but next Tuesday.
Lucky
And
her.
the Public Defender's Office will send their attorney.
I guess
Mr.
we'll be
Guy
seeing
Green,
her next
to
Tuesday.
you for your court date. Ms. Godwin, do you have any questions?
No, sir.
Have a good day, man.
I would imagine that
I saw a pair of jugs that big, two hillbillies were blowing on them.
Godwin, not Goblin, but we'll go with
Thank you.
Goblin. I
Next
like that
case
better.
is Eric Johnson.
We'll just call anything we want.
Stand up
And-
straight.
Sergeant, Mr. McDaniel, I'm not sure, has he already been advised there's a VOP warrant out of Washington County with no bond?
We got a 10-day hold,
Is that
Your
what-
Honor, so at this point in time, you're just going to hold him without bond because of Washington County, and he can make his bond here in Jackson County if he chooses to.
Mr.
He's not
Johnson,
been
I-
advised.
hold up.
Bad news
I'm sorry,
today.
go ahead, Sergeant.
We just seen this morning where there was a warrant out of Washington County, so he didn't know about it until this morning.
All right, sounds good. So, Mr. Johnson, there is a warrant out of Washington County. It does have no bond on it, sir. I looked this morning myself. It was signed by Judge Patterson sometime within the last week or so. Like Mr. McDaniel said, if you post bond here, you'll go to Washington County and you'll deal with that. If you don't post bond, you'll deal with our charges first and then deal with Washington County. Mr. Johnson, do you have any questions?
Yes, sir.
Have a good day.
Uh,
sir.
Hold that, if you will. This is something interesting. I just want to kind of check in on it, and it's live. This word here, I had this word up at the top here. Just posts. I'm not even gonna try. It is an action to evict someone from an apartment, home, condominium, or room that they rent. So I just wanted to see. This is a lot of people getting kicked out of their homes. No,
Yeah.
if that's actually what is.
The guy on the bottom looks very sad. Mr. Harrison.
Harris does look very sad. Dave, thank you for the $5. And a very good piece of knowledge there from Dave. Thank you.
Julius Turner, no answer. Position number 8, Amber Cooper. Amber Cooper, no answer. Position number 9, Russell Nichols II.
Run out in the hallway.
I'm sending you into breakout room number 9.
She said it 3 times. By the way.
I got 2 people.
Yeah, she
Vista
ain't in the hallway.
Jelks. Vista Jelks, no answer. Yolanda Brown.
I'm here.
Thank you, Ms. Brown. I'm sending you into breakout room number 10. Position number 11, Iris Watts.
Right here.
Thank you, Ms. Watts. I'm sending you into breakout room number 11. You're going into breakout room number 11. Position number 12, Anacia Dyer.
Here.
Thank you, Ms. Dyer. You're going into breakout room number 12.
She loves
Breakout
Martin.
room number 12. Number
Martin.
13. Is going into breakout room number 13. You're going into breakout room number 13. Position 14, Marcus Harris. Mr. Harris, you're going into breakout room number 14. Number 14. Position 15, Lucius Lackley.
It sounds fake, doesn't it?
No answer. All right, position number.
Hello there, Clark.
16, Letitia
You
Clark.
could almost get.
Ms. Clark, you're
I'm
going
not
into
gonna say.
breakout room number 6.
Apparently, she just dropped her kids off at school.
Number 17,
Hey, now.
Andrea Jackson. Andrea Jackson, no answer.
Judge,
Position number 8.
excuse me. I'm sorry, Judge. This is Clark Moore.
Yes, ma'am.
Attorney Pastor dismissed that case.
He did. All right.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. So all of his cases are dismissed then.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Mhm.
What I asked y'all not to do is do not interrupt. I'm going to go back through the calendar a second time.
Oh, shit.
All right. Position number 18, Mario Fernandez. Mario Fernandez, no answer. All right, position number 19 has already been dismissed. Position number 20, Shanika Dion Hughey. Is it Hughey? Hughley. You're in breakout room number 20.
Any relation to
I'm
DL?
seeing you in number
How do you mess up
There's
Hughley?
more before I go back through the calendar and for a second round of the people who did not follow my directions, let me know once you've gotten everybody situated. Now we'll go back through.
Yeah, boing.
Everybody's in there, Judge.
Thank you very much. I'm going to go back through the calendar and call those folks that I didn't hear the first time. Position number 2, Micah Winborn.
Right here.
You're going into breakout room number 2.
Boy, she's got everybody on edge too. Did you notice that? Like how quick everybody. Hey, that's me. I'm here.
Harvey, number 5. Nicole
not
Harvey,
playing.
still no answer. Number 7, Julius Turner. Julius Turner, still no answer. Number 8,
Orange
Amber
Julius.
Cooper. Amber Cooper, still no answer. Position number 15, Lucius Lackley, still no answer.
Lucius.
Position number 18, Mario Fernandez, still no answer. Anybody who noticed me here and I didn't call your name? It looks like I have somebody, Ms. Lenora Woods. Are you a landlord or a tenant, ma'am?
A landlord. I'm a witness.
Got it. All right. And Miss Sharonda Bryant, did you have a problem
Chef
getting
Sharonda.
into your breakout room? Ms. Bryant. did you have
LL
a
Stool
problem getting into your
J.
breakout room? Let's send Ms. Bryant another link to go into breakout room number 4. Let's get her into number 4.
Boy, I got a lot of breakout
All right.
rooms happening.
Mr. Wardlaw, I suspect you're here on position number 1, which is Melvin Blakely.
Yes, sir.
So
Looks like,
goddamn funny, Wardlaw.
He's already gotten some money from TLAC, so he doesn't qualify here. Is that correct? All right. Wardlaw, I'm going to send you into breakout room.
Someone entered this table tickling his feet. I mean, what is going on?
Let's hear from Ms. Crucial.
Hey, good afternoon, Your Honor. This is Luke Bolden here for Ms. Cruikshank. Thank you.
I already don't like Luke, by the way.
Uh-huh.
For
All right.
holding.
She's got all the cases on the calendar, so you're going to be with me all day today, sir.
Oh,
We got Mr. Winborn.
Apparently she
breakout
doesn't
room
like
number
Luke
2.
either.
Is your
Bueller.
client interested in participating in TLAC?
Bueller.
I hope you had your
Bueller.
breakfast. You're not going back.
Ms. Hart, I would like
Bueller.
to send you into breakout room number 2 with Attorney Bolden. Mr. Bolden, you have any a representative here from any of your clients?
Yes, Your Honor. It's going to be Miss Lenora Woods.
All right, let's send Miss Woods into breakout room number 2.
Okay, thank
Now
you.
it's time for recess. See you guys.
Now, Mr. Carlton, you're here on number 18. I typically don't take a default judgment until an hour in, so if you can be patient with me, I'd appreciate it.
All right.
Ms.
Thank you, Judge.
Bumpers, thank you, Ms. Bumpers. Miss Shanita is here. Is your client?
You got some bumpers, all right.
Bumpers is.
No, Your Honor.
Whoa.
All right, I'm sending you in the breakout room number 20.
She is blessed.
Well, hello
Just give me about 15. What time is it? 1:40. Give me about 20 more minutes. If you got something to do, come on back at 2 o'clock. I'll start taking my defaults then.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
she's very strict and to the point.
Oh, that was better than this morning.
I mean, I'm tired just watching that with all of. Yeah, everyone go to their room. Basically, yes.
She sent everybody to their rooms. Yeah.
Got it.
So we're gonna bring people back in and do something, or we just
the guy that was on the default. He's coming back at 2. So I don't know what they're about to do right here.
All right, Terry Bolden. Okay, got it. Got it. All right.
All right.
I'm scared to say anything.
Miss Cruikshank got all the cases on the calendar.
She won. I mean, I did. Yeah, if it was a game.
All of them.
Well, this is awkward.
All
It's
of
very
them.
awkward. All of them.
Yes.
Well,
It didn't work.
excuse me.
Very awkward when you're one-on-one
No, I'm
with the
not gonna
judge.
do
You
that
know.
because that gets confusing. I'm just talking. I'm working it out.
Working
in
it
my head.
out. Okay.
I'm working it out in my head. It's just coming out my mouth. That's all.
Work it out. Work it out. Work it out.
Cruikshank got all the cases on the calendar.
Work it out.
C 2 through 16.
Yep. Okay. I'm gonna go.
And
I'll be
then
back at 2 o'clock.
I'm gonna go smoke a cigarette. He said.
you. All right, let's go back to Florida.
Things
are
have
in
ended in Florida, but we're moved on. We're
okay
now.
All right. Oh, where are we?
My
now?
name is Jessica Marie Mullins.
Thank you. Number 1 on the docket, 21-1-134-14.
That was such a setup for
We have
nothing.
a revocation hearing set at the end of the week.
We'll go back
So
then. I wanna
Mrs.
see
Pratt, this was just on to see if that was going to be necessary or if a resolution
Gotta
was in
take
the
it up here.
works.
Your Honor, I am still working on a resolution. I'm not there yet. I'm going to ask that we strike the hearing and set this out for 2 weeks.
So do you want another hearing set at this time?
The blessings.
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Walker?
Well, I'd like to reach a resolution, obviously, but I think that we have to have an evidentiary hearing set. Just for the same reason that we set a jury trial, there's got to be some end date to this. It's been going on for a little while, and I understand there have been some delays. I think Ms. Pratt was out for a while and so forth. So if the court is going to continue it, I do ask that we have a evidentiary hearing date set, so there's some finality here.
Kiss you on the neck.
All right, I that makes sense to me too. So I will set the review over to August 22nd at 10:30 a.m.
Good
But I
luck,
need the
Carol.
parties to get a date. I don't have another pre-approved date at this time. So Mr. Walker, if you could do that before the order is handed up, and we'll set an evidentiary hearing.
I'm not sure what all this means. Is there any way I could get a meeting with Carrie Pratt?
She'll come see you, Ms. Mullins.
Easy does it, Miss Mullins in the basement.
Okay, because I've been calling the office and I don't know exactly what's going on. I was hoping to go to an inpatient treatment center.
All right, well, that's not before me today. So Mrs. Pratt, do you have time this week to meet with Ms. Mullins?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Mullins, she'll be in to see you this week.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. That's all for today.
It's all for her.
All right, who's on the jail second floor? I've unmuted you.
That's Luca.
Zach Hawkes.
All right, number 3, State versus Zachary Jaquez, 22-1-70-14. He's still pending admission to Western State. We had a review on the contempt with the department last Friday, and September 9 is his estimated admission date at this point.
Are his tattoos just one big black smear? Because it doesn't look like anything at all. Just one big black sleeve.
So I'd like to set this over to Monday, September 12th, to see if he has indeed been admitted. Mrs. Pratt, do you wish to be heard further?
No, Your
Could
Honor.
be for the right amount.
Anything from the state?
No, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. And thank you. That's all for today.
He's so sad.
Number 5, 22-1-266-14, State versus Travis Harrison.
Hey, how's it going? Wow, where's she? The Vatican?
Good morning, counsel. I see your client's also present on the Zoom.
He is. Good morning, Your Honor. For the record, Shara Stefanik appearing for Mr. Travis Harrison. We are both present via Zoom today. This matter comes on for arraignment.
And are you ready to proceed with arraignment today?
We are, Your Honor.
All right, go ahead.
This point, Your Honor, we acknowledge receipt of information and probable cause materials, and Mr. Harrison enters a plea of not guilty.
And
Good
is
call.
he willing to waive a formal reading and further advisement, or do you want me to do that?
Certainly, we waive formal reading of said information.
Thank you, counsel. All right, Mr. Harrison, I'm going to enter a plea of not guilty on your behalf. I'm going to set your matter for trial. At this time, the trial will be set for October 25th at 8:30 a.m. Trial readiness will be October 17 at 10:30 a.m. and omnibus will be Tuesday, September 6th at 10:30 a.m. Is there
Your
any-
Honor.
Oh, go ahead, counsel.
Sorry. I'm currently scheduled to be out of the state on September 6th, so might we set to a different day? And
She's going to see
full
Flusha.
disclaimer, I've been vacillating about changing that around, but as it stands right now, I'm supposed to be out of the state.
Would the next Monday, September 12th work?
It would. Thank you.
All right, so omnibus September 12th at 10:30. So Mr. Harrison, it's important that you stay in touch with your attorney between now and then so
Good
that
to
you
see
don't miss any court
Melissa
dates.
or Texas Mama Bear. Oh, he's got nice hair.
All right, anything further?
Man, that was
Nothing
sad when
from
that
the
dude
bench,
put
Your
his
Honor.
head down and
All
walked
right,
away.
thank you.
That was
all for
seriously
today,
sad.
Mr. Harrison. We'll see you on
He
September
was very
12th.
upset.
Oh my God.
All right. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, counsel. All right, on the second floor, is that Mr. Bisser?
Yes, ma'am.
He's a
This
real
is number
pisser,
7 on the
Mr. Bisser.
docket, 22-1-291-14,
Earfoul choice,
State versus
not-
Chance Bisser.
Not very good. I missed another one. God Rides a Harley. Had to listen to it on MRN. We were out and about all day. It was wait till you hear the whole story of Emily getting home from Michigan.
So the
Oh, I thought you
docket
were gonna
says
say
this is a motion to terminate the no contact order. I've not
you're
seen a
home alone.
motion.
God Rides a Harley. Glad to see your
hearing
boys doing
this on your
chases now
motion.
too.
Chases and cases 5 days a week.
That's
Did
right.
you file a
Mad
motion?
Cave, good to see you.
Okay, I
Soon.
need you to come
Screamed it.
forward then.
Question. It's 2022. Do we still have to cut these things or can we just throw them away because we don't care about
When
them?
did you file the motion?
No, now.
We don't have to
Can you
cut them
pull that
anymore.
microphone
Dave
close to you,
Duck's
please?
9.
And I need your name for the record.
My name is Samantha. And
Hi,
I filed it,
Samantha. 2 weeks ago on Monday.
What's your last name, Samantha?
Pettis, Pettis.
Deborah, I wouldn't feel too bad for him. I mean, 15 million a year.
Do you have a copy of your motion with you?
I do.
By the way, do you
If
see
you
the
would
pictures,
hand that to
black
the clerk,
eyes?
please. It did not make the court file, so if I can have that
Got
copy
his
for
ass beat
filing.
because of that stupid ass haircut. At least I know that's why I'd beat him up.
I mean, one side is there it is. There it is.
Good news. Last of the out of date Mountain Dew.
Oh, I would never drink those. Those been in the garbage.
Listen, there's 7-Up 2-liter and there's water. It's the best I can do until court's over and I
There's
can
2 different orders
go
because
get
I
some
wasn't
peanuts.
sure
I
which one
mean,
to fill out, but I filed them both.
It's not how you spell it, by the way.
Okay, just 1 second.
Sorry.
He definitely does.
He's got
Get it rough.
2 black eyes. And he keeps smiling and waving. Do you
Who
see
is he
that?
waving at us? Do you like us?
Is he flirting with us? Because I feel weird about it if he is.
Mad Cave, is he waving? Mad Cave did declare for the right price he'd be gay.
Has
I
the
mean-
state had a chance to review this motion?
No, Your Honor, but I did speak with,
Is it a giant mohawk?
going to file something.
Nobody could
So
hear him.
what
I don't
is
think the mic is on.
State's position on the motion.
Your Honor, at this point, I'm not in favor of it.
There's no way it's on.
Not necessarily a modification for the. I will say he doesn't have this nice yellow history mostly of traffic.
Speak up, Junior. I drink a lot of water. I promise you that.
I was curious if
Ms. Pettis, I'm going to ask you if you would please take your mask off. It helps with the audio
Sorry.
quite a bit.
It
That's
really
all right.
does. Very
I was
mumbled.
curious if since you guys weren't comfortable with terminating the order, about modifying it to a no violent order, so that way we can still communicate since we have a child together.
So.
Oh, that's who he's
what I
waving
would-
at
what I would
her.
be willing to do at this point, because Mr. Bisser is in custody, is to allow telephone contact. Mr. Bisser, that kind of stuff is not appropriate for the courtroom and it's gonna
Yeah, but
change
he's
my mind
happy
real
because they
quick.
can
I
have
don't
phone
like that
sex now.
nonsense.
Sorry.
No, there will be no more than that, ma'am. I apologize. I was
Thank you.
active.
So, Ms. Pettis, that I will allow telephone
You might be right.
contact.
We may have
I'm
seen
going to
this guy
remind both
before.
of you that not only are the jail phone calls recorded, but they are monitored. I think people think that they're not, but they are. So if there's any inappropriate conversation, and Mr. Bisser, by that, I mean, you're not to talk
rub
about
your
this case with Ms.
phone,
Pettis.
Anya.
You know, whatever comes out of this case is what's going to come out of it. But if you're having any conversation with her in an attempt to influence what she does or does not testify to, you're likely going to find yourself subject to additional charges, and the court will impose the full no contact order immediately.
I
Do
hope
you
that works
understand
out.
that?
Yes, Your Honor, there'll be no nonsense like that. It'll be really amazing to be able to hear about my baby boy and how she's doing. I just worry about her a whole bunch, you know? This is, I mean.
My baby
I
boy
know
and how
that-
she's
that-
doing?
that,
Yeah.
my
He did
kid does
just say
matter a
that,
whole
right?
bunch, but
Yes,
This is just.
he
been a
did.
huge Misunderstanding.
Well, that's for another day. I'm not here to make any decisions about what did or did not happen. So, Ms. Pettis, do you have an order on the modification?
She got out.
Great
ass.
No, I don't think so.
She doesn't seem as happy about the
If you would,
phone
Mr.
thing as he
Peterson,
was.
that would be helpful. And so I will sign that when it's presented. So Ms. Pettis, if you want to perhaps wait around, Mr. Peterson's going to need a few minutes to go and do that. So I will allow non-hostile telephone contact and we'll go from there. So Mr. Pettit or Mr. Bisser,
If he had a football, he'd
your
spike it
next
right
trial
now.
or your next court date will be August 29th.
I've never seen somebody so excited about phone privileges
Jury,
in my
did you
life.
wish to be heard at all on that?
I think Miss Penis is looking for.
All right, so Ms.
something
Pettis,
like
if
that.
you'd wait, then once that order is signed, then you're done
Maybe.
for today.
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you. So I've called all of the 10:30 matters. Does anybody have anything else that was to be
Namaste.
heard at 10:30?
Bow to your master.
All right.
Oh, they cutting it. They're not back
All right,
from
thank you. We're-
recess over there.
No, we're done here.
So let's see what's happening with landlord tenant matters over at 3B with Judge Middleton
Plaintiff.
and a very
filed an
confused man
objection
named Eric.
To that request for installment payments, and I set the matter for a hearing. The clerk advised that Mr. Wolf stated that they reached an agreement and he was going to be here, but he is not here. Mr. Naslin, what can you tell me about this?
I've reviewed the filings and Mr. Rusin filed objections. I would respectfully ask that the motion be denied, since Mr. Wolf is not present.
Oh, well, Wolves London.
Let's see if he's out front.
Well, we have a second mini Chase Monday coming up on We Got a Chase Today, 405 East, 105 Pacific.
Any sign of Richard Wolf?
Dick Wolf, he is the producer of Law and Order.
Yeah, he's got monies.
He got himself in trouble in Michigan, apparently.
All right.
Why do I know that? That shows how much old Law and Order I used to watch.
Oh, that's every time we watch it, I say, "Ha ha, Dick Wolf."
Well, we didn't have the record turned on. He's not here. In the amount of $10,885. The judgment was renewed before the 10 years expired in April. Apparently, collection efforts were attempted, and Mr. Wolf filed a petition for installment payments at $50 every 2 weeks.
You can't even
With
afford
interest
that.
in the passage of time, the debt has doubled. It's in the
50 every 2 weeks.
22,000 plus range.
What?
Plaintiff objects to the installment order, and the defendant isn't here. He called and talked to the court staff and said they worked out some sort of arrangement. And that may be true.
We got licking, by the way.
And goodbye, Judge.
You're here today because I issued a warrant for your arrest when you failed to appear back earlier this summer for a trial. Looks like you got one charge of unauthorized use of a vehicle. We're going to set a bond for you today and get this thing rescheduled for trial. How come you didn't show up for court?
I just lost track of the days.
Beg your pardon?
I just lost track of the days.
All righty. Well, that would make that would be more acceptable if it was like last week that you didn't show up, but it was like almost 2 months ago. So, what happened?
Yes, sir. I was out of town working and I lost track of the date, what day it was, and by the time I realized it was too late.
Are you employed, Mr. Kirkpatrick?
Are you an idiot?
You receive disability benefits?
No, sir.
Yeah, he never went on vacation. It was just for
No, I just lost my job.
it was a month.
Is that a good excuse for why you missed court? I lost track of the days. Really?
Yeah.
I mean, late to dinner, sure. Late to a doctor's appointment, yes. Late to court by months, not a good excuse.
You said it's a mailing address?
Otherwise, you're unhoused?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, anything you want to say before I set your bond?
No, sir.
I
apologize.
Judge Murphy, thanks for letting me out today.
Beg your pardon?
Ma'am.
I apologize for missing court.
Have you seen the magistrate from Common Pleas Court yet about the felony charge?
Yes, sir.
Did they set a bond for you there?
Yes, sir.
What amount was that in?
50,000.
I'm sorry?
50,000.
50? All right. So it doesn't really matter what I do here, but I will set it at 2,500 cash or surety or 10%. Again, no violent contact with Cheryl Kirkpatrick, like the original bond. We'll get this set pretty fast since you're sitting in jail. You're eligible to apply for counsel. As I mentioned earlier, I strongly recommend that you do that. They have the form down there for you. So any other questions today? Very well, Mr. Kirkpatrick. You may go with the officer. Thank you, sir.
You got a 50K bond thing.
All right,
I
Brandon
didn't
Doyle.
really worry about it. You're just half the bond. Sorry.
Good afternoon, Mr. Doyle. You understand your rights in court today?
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
And did you receive a copy of the complaint?
Yes, sir.
Did you read it and understand you've been charged with disorderly conduct as a 4th-degree misdemeanor?
Yes, Your Honor.
That charge carries up to 180 days in the county, or I'm sorry, up to 30 days in the county jail, and up to $1,000 It's an M4. It's up to $250 fine and up to 30 days in jail. How do you want to plead?
Okay.
Not guilty.
And your current address?
OMG.
141 NASA Drive West, Granville, Ohio, 43023.
And are you employed?
Yes, sir. I'm a full-time firefighter at Truro Township Fire Department
Well,
in
what the hell
Reynoldsburg,
are you
Ohio.
doing here?
And how long have you been working there?
It'll be 9 years. February.
Is there a fight back there? Did you hear all of a sudden it got really, really loud behind them?
Attorney Bumpers is back, by the way.
Oh, thank God.
He's even annoyed. Did you see that? See that look?
Yeah, I'm over here.
All right, Mr. Doyle. I'm going to go ahead and release you on your own recognizance on the condition that you have no violent contact with any family or household members. This case will be randomly assigned to a judge set for a trial. You'll get notice by mail of when that's going to be. If you're going to be hiring your own attorney, start making those arrangements right away. If you're going to go court appointed, you can get an application form there at the jail. But since you're being released, they will not send it in for you. That'll be your job. So you have any questions today, sir?
No, sir, Your Honor.
Very well, Mr. Doyle. You may go with the officer. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Wait till the phone.
All right. Next up, we have Mark Lepley. Are you Mr. Lepley, sir?
Who brought a
Yes,
dog?
sir.
All right, Mr. Lepley, you have 2 cases with Judge George that we're just going to set bonds on. And it looks like there's another case from July where you've not entered a plea yet. So let's back things up. You understand your rights?
Excuse me?
Do you understand your rights in court?
Right.
Did you watch the video about your rights in court?
Yes.
Did you understand that information?
Yes.
Right. All right. The new charge is driving while under a child support suspension based upon your previous driving record. Let's see if they're alleging that you have at least 2 prior convictions for this type of an offense within the last 3 years. It'll elevate it to a 4th-degree misdemeanor. Otherwise, it's unclassified. Looks like there's 1 and there is 2. So it is an M4. It's up to 30 days, up to a $250 fine. How do you plead?
Guilty.
Good call.
Now, the other 2 cases, all I can do on those is set a bond for you because I don't have the authority to do anything else since they were assigned to Judge George. What is your current address?
195 Isabel Road, Newark, Ohio.
Are you employed?
I love
Yes, sir.
Where do you work?
Right Construction out of Heath.
And how long have you worked for them?
I just started last week, so I'm really
Not very long.
Yeah.
All right. Now, are you using the Isabel Road address as a mailing address, or do you actually live there?
I live there.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Got a bad little shack.
Is Isabella the little one right there? Okay, so he's been suspended because he hasn't paid child support.
Yeah, so they put a. I love that. So
It's
they
like
put
the third
a.
or fourth time he got busted for. So how far behind in child support is my dude? It's got to be
Way behind.
thousands.
Do you think he's just staying here, or is this?
Oh, I hope so. He does not deserve that house in the front.
All right. You have the right to. You're presumed to be innocent. The state has the burden of proof. If you have the right to a trial with a judge or a jury, you'll give up those rights if you plead guilty. Understand?
Yes.
And are you a citizen of the United States of America?
Yes.
Okay.
Tough.
Anything you want to say about this driver's license charge from July?
No.
I'm not going to impose any jail time on that, but I will impose a $250 fine. Now, as far as the other cases go, one of your cases is from December of 2021. The other one is from, looks like it was from April of 2021. The warrants went out. When did the warrant go out? Oh, just last week.
Hey.
So, all right. How come you didn't show for court?
I didn't realize I had a court date. When I seen you last month for the arraignment on all three of these cases, the next thing I got in the mail was just the other day from you on the one I just pled guilty for just now.
Okay.
Toodles. So it could cost him way more than $250 before he leaves out of here.
I am kind of surprised they don't have a breakdown of the fees like over at 3B when Judge Mills goes through all the different, like victim advocates, all the
All right,
different.
Mr. Lepley, on both of these cases with Judge George, I'll release you on your own recognizance. You will get notice by mail the next court dates. Make sure you show up for that one. And I always say this under circumstances of this nature. If you fail to appear for the next court date on those cases, and when you get picked up, you see me for a bond, it won't be an OR bond next time. Understand?
Yes, sir.
All right, very well. You'll get some time to pay off the fines and costs that I imposed here today, and notice of the next court dates from Judge George. Any other questions?
No.
You may go with the officer. Thank you, Mr. Lepley.
Thank you.
A lot of deadbeats out there, folks.
All right. Next up, we have
So
Dominic,
far,
is it Lizuch?
Not too bad.
Yes, that's correct.
Is that how you pronounce your last name?
Yes, Lezu.
Lizuch.
Getting better as
Well,
we
Mr.
go on.
Lizuch, you understand your rights.
Yes, sir.
Did you receive a copy of the complaint?
Yes, sir.
Did you read it? You understand you've been charged with disorderly conduct as a 4th-degree misdemeanor?
Yes, sir.
What that means is you face maximum penalties of up to 30 days in jail and up to a $250 fine. How would you like to plead to the charge?
Guilty.
Before I can accept your plea, I need to go over a few things with you. You are presumed to be innocent. It is the state's burden to prove you're guilty beyond a reasonable doubt, but if you plead guilty, they don't have to prove anything. Understand?
Yes.
You have a right to an attorney. If you couldn't afford one, we'd give you one free if you qualified. Was it your intention to waive your right to a lawyer?
What a deal.
Yes.
That's fine. Yeah, I just need to verify that that's what you want to
Are
do.
they moving furniture?
You have a right to a trial with a judge or a jury, but if you plead guilty, you admit that you did this. They don't have to prove anything. There won't be a trial. I'll simply impose sentence and we'll be done today. Understand?
Yes.
And lastly, are you a citizen of the United States?
I have a green card.
All right. I am required to read you the following language. If you are not a citizen of the United States, you are hereby advised that conviction of the offense to which
I thought when he was having a hard time read his name and everything, be able to pronounce it correctly, like I'm having difficulty talking today. And then he talked with kind of an accent. So he has a green card here.
Is that what he said? I just could have swore he said bank card. Okay.
Green card. And so that's when he said, well, I've got to read you this then. I mean, this should be enough to kick the guy out of the country, right? You get in a little bit of trouble, they throw you out, right?
I have no idea.
remain in the country. If you're confident and satisfied that it's not, and you just want to wrap it up today, we can do that too. Do you want a continuance, or do you want to go ahead and just plead guilty and be done today?
Plead guilty and be done today.
Well, let me take a quick look here at the file, and then I'm going to give you an opportunity to speak if you like. You won't have to. Can I assume that you were down here for the concert over the weekend?
Yes, sir.
But you still live up in Cleveland?
Yes, sir.
What part of Cleveland do you live in?
Concert.
Cleveland.
Like north side, east side, west side, south side?
West side?
West side.
Are you employed?
Yes, sir.
What do you do?
I operate machines.
So you work at a factory?
Factory, yes, sir.
Okay. How long have you been working there?
For 3 years. And did plumbing for 5 years before that.
They're doing construction right now.
I mean, it does sound like some hammering.
Yeah. And or if you look to the very far right of the screen when it shows the entire court.
Anything you want to say about what happened?
I was walking around and I guess I was stumbling and ended up here.
You're stumbling and ended up there. Okay.
When did you get down here?
Was it Saturday?
Okay. And then you were planning on going home what, yesterday?
Yes, sir.
And you got arrested. Oh, yeah, they ruined your whole weekend. You got arrested on Saturday.
Yep.
I want to know who it was. Come on. Was it Shaggy? Was it the Shaggy concert in Newark, Ohio?
Shaggy. It must have been big. You knew about the concert. It's got to be bigger than that.
Yeah.
All right, Mr. How do you pronounce it again?
Lezuk?
Lezuk. $150 fine. I'll order that you pay court costs. I'll send you to serve 2 days in jail and give you credit for time served. So other than your fine and cost, this is over. You have any questions?
No, thank you.
All right, you may go with the officer. Drive safe back to Cleveland.
Yep. Thanks.
Next, we have Cynthia Martin.
Is she here for the concert too?
Throw the book out and let all the violent criminals just go on all day.
Good afternoon. Are you Miss Martin?
Yeah.
Yes, I am.
And Miss Martin, do you understand your rights in court today?
I do.
We're here because I issued a warrant for your arrest when you failed to appear for some type of a hearing. Looks like it was an intervention in lieu of conviction revocation hearing back in April. So what we're going to do today is set a bond for you and get a new court date scheduled. What is your current address?
20 Flamingo Drive, Newark, Ohio, 43055.
I'm sorry, what was the street number again?
20 Flamingo Drive.
Flamingo Drive.
I'm having a hard time understanding you when you say the name of the street.
Flamingo.
Flamingo, like the bird?
Yes. Yes.
You said that's Drive?
Yes.
And that is a Newark mailing address, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you employed?
Yes, I am.
Where do you work?
I actually work for 2 elderly women. I help take care of them and have been for quite some time now.
Do you live with them?
The one woman I live with, the other one I do not.
And how long have you been doing that?
For about 5 months.
Okay. Now I'm going to give you an opportunity to make a statement here or speak before I decide what your bond should be. Anything you want to say in that regard?
Yes, Your Honor. I have recently quit. I quit doing drugs. I got a job. I didn't realize I had a court date with you, and that's why I was not here for my court date. Yeah. And I'm apologetic for what I've done, Your Honor.
Okay.
Very quick while he's doing that, I'm going to show you. I can't find anything. I mean, I don't think that he was there for Randy Gleason. That is. They got the tractor pull concert on the green happened last night.
That has to be it.
I mean, I don't. And then these are all coming up. Oh, Demolition Derby coming up tomorrow at the fairgrounds. The fair is going on though. I'll look at see what was at the fair. That
one to represent you. So if you're going to do that, get the application form from the jail. If you're unable to post your bond, they will send it here for you. If you are able to post your bond and you get out, you have to get it turned in yourself. The thing is, though, if you do post the bond and then you fail to appear in the future, both you and whoever posts the bond on your behalf would be liable for the entire $2,500. Understand?
Yes, Your Honor. I won't be able to post my bond.
Well, then we will get this set very quickly, and I would strongly recommend that you fill out your application for counsel. Any other questions today?
Yeah, there's no way I can get an OR bond so I can continue my work.
No, you just simply failed to appear too many times for me to OR you today.
Wow, she must have been really bad.
Guilty.
You can't do it today, but you can at your next court date.
What?
Any other questions?
No, Your Honor.
All right, you may go with the officer. I'll see you at your next hearing. All right, Austin Mays.
Hit the bricks.
Austin Mays, any relation to Billy Mays?
Good afternoon, sir. You Mr.
Brother.
Mays?
I am.
And Mr. Mays, do you understand your rights in court today?
I do.
Did you receive a copy of the 2 complaints?
Uncanny.
I did.
Did you read those, and do you understand what it is you've been charged with?
Yes, sir.
Looks like you've been charged in the first count with criminal mischief. That's a 3rd-degree misdemeanor. Carries up to 60 days jail, up to a $500 fine. And the second count is disorderly conduct. That is a 4th-degree misdemeanor. That's up to 30 days and up to a $250 fine. So how do you want to plead?
Guilty.
You want to do a guilty, please?
Yes.
All right. Before I can accept your pleas, I need to go over a number of things with you. You are entitled to be represented by an attorney. You have that right. You can hire one if you like, but we'd also give you a free one if you qualify based on your income and your expenses. Was it your intention to waive that right today?
Yes.
Okay. Even without a lawyer, you're still presumed to be innocent. It's still the government's burden to prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt, and you have a right to a trial with a judge or a jury. Do you understand that?
I do.
You have the right to confront your accusers as well as to compel or require your own witnesses to attend the trial to testify in your favor. And you have a constitutional right not to testify. And if you didn't, nobody could force you to, and it wouldn't be held against you at all. Understand?
I do.
Now, plea of guilty is an admission of guilt. By tendering that plea, you admit to committing these offenses. That means the state doesn't have to prove anything. You gave up. You would be giving up those other rights that we just discussed. Are you aware of that?
I am.
And if I accept your plea and enter convictions here today, I'll impose sentence upon you. Have you been threatened in any way or promised anything to get you to do what you're doing?
I have not.
Are you under the influence of anything right now?
I am not.
And are you a citizen of the United States of America?
I am.
All right, let me familiarize myself with what they say happened here. And if you want to, I'll give you an opportunity to make a statement. You won't be required to, but bear with me 1 second, okay?
Bearing. Got a lot of reading. That's not good.
I can't figure out what it was. It's so hard to find, like.
Oh, I even looked over here. Yeah, past events is almost impossible. Unless it's like an ongoing thing. That guy looks just like Billy Mays. I was like, damn, I thought he was back from the dead.
With just 2 easy steps, I can climb over these seats and kick you right in the fucking ball.
Yes, hey, careful now.
Easy does it, Billy Mays.
Billy Mays here.
Okay, anything you want to say?
Hi, Vicky.
No, sir.
I know this was a while ago. So it looks like what happened was they mailed out your summons. They didn't issue an arrest warrant. They mailed out a summons to the 1415 Howell Drive address. It came back as
undeliverable.
It basically said that your forwarding order to send your mail to your new address had expired, which is why you didn't get it. You probably didn't know about it, which is why you didn't show up. Are you employed?
I am.
What do you do?
I work at the airport.
Like Port Columbus? I'm sorry, John Glenn International?
John Glenn.
All right. And what do you do there?
I'm in rampaging.
Okay. So like you're in charge of the gate?
Yes.
And how long have you worked over there?
6 months.
Now, do you work for the airport or do you work for a company that contracts with the airport?
A company that contracts with the airport.
Gotcha. Okay.
So he's not TSA or anything like that. Gotcha.
And it looks like that warrant has been out there for a little while. Let's see something here.
Mm-hmm.
Since February, so obviously you've been staying out of trouble. You haven't had any contact with the police. Where did they pick you up?
I turned myself in.
So you found out you had the warrants and you turned yourself in, what, Friday?
Good man.
Saturday morning? Okay. All righty.
Oh, no, you do that Sunday evening.
How'd you find out you had warrants?
My car got broken into, and then in Columbus, and they ran my tags and told me I had a warrant.
Oh, but it being Columbus, they said deal with that instead of taking you putting you under arrest?
Yes.
Okay.
That was nice of them.
That was very nice of them. And how good of
Well, here's
him.
what we're going to do today, Mr. Mays. On the criminal mischief charge, I'll go ahead and impose a $150 fine, order you to pay court costs, sent you to serve 2 days in jail, give you credit for time served. On the disorderly, it'll be an additional $50 fine. You'll get some information about how much you're going to actually owe and when it's due. But as far as anything else, other than that, you're finished with other than just paying your fines and costs. Any questions?
So are you saying that I'm free to go after today?
Yeah, I'm not imposing any additional jail time, nor am I placing you on probation. Now, it'll take them a little while to process you out, so be patient as far as that's concerned. But yes, you should be released today. I don't see any other thing on the jail roster that you're being held for, so you should get out today. And as I said, you're not on probation, but you do owe them fines and costs. Any other questions?
No, sir. Understood.
All right. You may go with the officer, Mr. Mays. Thank you.
Thank you.
Seems like a nice guy. Made him.
All right. Alyssa Agello.
They say Jello?
Miss Jello. Jello. Come on, Miss Jello.
Is it Ogello or Ogello?
Ogello.
Ogello. And you are Miss Ogello?
Yeah.
And you understand your rights in court today?
Yeah.
Did you receive a copy of the complaint that was filed against you?
Yes.
Did you read it? You understand you've been charged with domestic violence?
Yes.
There's a second charge, and that is assault. It looks like it's just two different theories of the same alleged events. So each is a misdemeanor of the first degree. Each carries up to $1,000 fine, up to 180 days in jail. How do you want to plead?
Not guilty.
And what is your current address?
4711 Walnut Road.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you. What was that?
4711 Walnut Road.
You got a lot number?
Shut up.
N8.
And is it Nancy 8? And what's the city and state?
Buckeye Lake, Ohio.
And do you have a P.O. box?
2082.
Who's she beat up?
All right. Let's see. You are 19.
Pudding pop.
Yeah.
And are you employed? Do you go to school? What do you do?
I'm employed.
You're employed? Where do you work?
McDonald's.
McDonald's? The one out
Yeah.
at the lake?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me take a quick look at the file here.
I wasn't ready.
Domestic violence against whom?
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba, I'm licking it.
Oh, cover your face, honey. There's some old person sick. Ain't nothing worse than an old sick person. She's got good bone structure.
Whew, Coda, Jesus Christ. Oh my God.
They fart.
Oh, yeah, it's bad. Coda. I'm going to take her out.
It rolled off a turd. Go ahead.
It absolutely had to happen.
All right. Well, Miss Ogello, I'm going to go ahead and release you on your own recognizance on the condition that you not have any violent contact with any family or household member. So I'm not putting on a complete prohibition of no contact at all. But obviously, if the police get called out there again, regardless of whether you get charged with something, if there's evidence that you got physical with somebody, your bond could get revoked. You could be stuck at the jail until this case is resolved. Now, the case itself will be randomly assigned to a judge set for a trial. You'll get notice by mail, so make sure the address is correct, including your P.O. box. You're eligible to ask the court for court-appointed counsel. You can get the application there at the jail. I'm releasing you, and I'd be shocked if you're being held on anything else. It doesn't look like you are. So since you're going to be released, it'll be your job to turn in your application. I recognize that this may be new for you, but the main thing is do not wait until the day of your trial to deal with getting an attorney. Do you understand?
Okay.
Now, do you have any questions today?
No.
Very well. You may go with the officer. Thank you, Miss Ogello.
He didn't even mention who she's supposed to stay away from or any.
Next up, we have
That's weird.
Cory Owens. Good afternoon, sir. You're Mr. Owens?
Good afternoon. How are you?
I'm doing all right, Mr. Owens. Thank you. I'd ask you the same, but I know probably not good because you're sitting there in the jail.
Yeah,
Right?
I'm not doing
All right. So I know at least two of your cases. You're here because I issued warrants for your arrest. It looks like you had one with Judge George where a warrant was issued as well. It looks like mine were issued back in April. Judge George's was issued in May. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and set bonds on the cases and get them rescheduled for hearings. What is your current address?
My current address is 157 Cliff Street, Buckeye Lake, Ohio.
What's your P.O. box?
P.O. Box 94.
All right. What's the zip out there?
43008. Can I go ahead and get these over with so I can? Because I'm in here. They just sentenced me to 6 months in the county jail for a felony 5 possession.
Okay. Well, you can take care of the
So
two
I would
that are
like to
assigned to
just-
me, but you'll have to go see Judge George on the last one, okay? Well, let's talk about what you're facing. In 21 TRD 7792, you're charged with driving under non-compliance suspension, displaying fictitious registration, and a license
Very
forfeiture.
bossy.
The driver's license offenses are M4s, as is the fictitious tag. So each is up to 30 days in jail, up to a $250 fine. On the driver's license offenses, you also face a possible suspension of your license.
Home of Rob Van Dam.
08992, you've got speeding, minor misdemeanor, $150, seatbelt violation, $30 fine max, driving under 12-point suspension and driving under a license forfeiture. The 12-point would take precedence because it's a first-degree misdemeanor, up to 180 days in jail, up to a $1,000 fine. There's a mandatory minimum 3-day jail term on that, though. Understand?
Okay. Yes, sir.
All right. You have the right to be represented by an attorney, and if you couldn't afford one, we give you one at absolutely no cost. Understand?
Yes, sir.
Was it your intention to waive your right to an attorney on these cases?
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. You're presumed to be innocent of the charges. And by the way, you said you want to take care of them. Did you want to change your plea to guilty or to no contest?
Guilty.
You're presumed to be innocent. The state has the burden of proof beyond a reasonable doubt. They couldn't meet it. You couldn't be convicted. You have the right to a trial with a judge or a jury in both cases. You have the right to confront your accusers, compel the attendance of your own witnesses, and a right not to testify without it being held against you. If you plead guilty, you admit that you committed these offenses. The state doesn't have to prove anything, and you waive all those rights, and I'll simply impose sentence and we're done. Understand?
Okay.
Have you been threatened in any way or promised anything to get you to do this?
Nah.
No, sir.
Are you under the influence of anything right now?
Nah.
No, sir.
And are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, sir.
All right. Anything you want to say about these two cases before I decide what to do?
No, not really. I mean, I know I shouldn't be driving, and I mean, listen, I've had the same job for about 4 years, and I mean, I'm trying my best. You know, I mean, it's just, it's not the court system that's made it impossible for me to get my license. It's me. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I've caught numerous driving under suspensions. It's just that I've got myself in such a hole that it's just impossible for me to unbury myself.
Well, you know, it's fun. I mean, people always ask me, what do I need to do to get my license back? Sometimes I tell them they need to win the lottery.
Exactly. That's exactly what I need to do.
All right. And you've been in there since Friday?
What's that?
You've been in jail since Friday?
Yes, sir.
All right. Did you get sentenced on Friday over in Common Pleas Court?
Yes, sir.
This guy. What a great fella. If Redface lost weight in his hair, it'd be this guy.
Well, he chooses to go to Disney World in the middle of August, beginning of August. So he should have lost a couple of pounds.
Yeah, I saw he was at Universal the other day.
How could you? Seriously? How do they do it in August? I mean,
You said you've been working at the same place for the past 4 years. Where do you work?
I just can't imagine.
Modular Concepts. We set up mobile homes on job sites. I actually work for Will Scott, but I'm a subcontractor through. I'm not a subcontractor. Actually, they take out taxes as of last year, but so technically I'm a general contractor, whatever. I really don't know exactly how it falls, but
He's worked there 4 years, Creed, and they just started taking taxes out last year.
Yes.
And he don't have money to get his shit straight? Really?
Well, I'm sure if there are
yes.
any IRS agents paying attention and watching our live stream today, they're going to be happy to know that you're complying with our tax code.
Well, there you go.
All right, so let's see. There's one and there's two.
We've heard a lot of people admit that. Just want to show you the bailiff real quick. I love this.
I'm waiting for it to say. Dun, 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 dun.
Right, that's all, folks.
That's all, folks.
I want to jump over there when we're done looking for just a couple of minutes. This Denton municipal court judge is like the nicest guy.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to release you on a recognizance bond on the case that's assigned to Judge George. They'll get a new court date. They'll transport you over here. If you want to plead guilty to what's on there, you can do that with him too. That's fine. Here's what we're going to do on your old cases with me.
I couldn't
on
imagine.
the 21 TRD 7792. This is from August the 27th of last year. let's see. On the driving under the license forfeiture charge, $150 fine, cost will be assessed, and $50 fine on the tags. On the, in 21 TRD 8992, which is alleged to have occurred back on October the 6th of last year, on the speeding violation, $96 fine, because you were going 96 and a 70. Oh, by the way, on that other, on that other case, you had a second driving under suspension charge. I'm not going to enter a conviction on that. Understand?
What is it?
You had 2 driving under suspension charges on the ticket in the case I just
Oh no, they're
sent you
screwing
on.
up. Look,
I'm not entering. I'm only entering 1 conviction. All right.
Okay.
So same thing here. You got the 12-point and the license forfeiture. No conviction will be entered on the license forfeiture. On the 12-point, the bad news is it's a mandatory minimum 3 days jail. The good news is you've been sitting in there for 3 days, so I'll give you credit for time served. Impose a $150 fine, and then on the seatbelt violation, it's a $30 fine. Cost will be assessed in both cases. You're obviously going to probably need an extension, so just make sure you submit a written request and point out the fact that you're stuck down there for 6 months, because usually I only give a 90-day extension on the first request. All right?
Okay, so what you say? I'll need a 90. You say I'll need to put in for an extension on my fines and court costs.
Right, because they're going to give you a piece of paper down there that gives you a deadline by which these have to be paid, and you can submit a request in writing to extend that deadline, because you're not going to be able to pay them off while you're sitting in the jail for the next 6 months, right?
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it depends on how much they are. Do you have a ballpark?
They'll tell you
figure?
down there. It's going to be more than a little, but it's going to be less than a lot. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Any other questions today?
No, sir.
Very well.
Oh, on the next case, do you know if it's a 12-point suspension as well?
No.
Or is it just
on Judge George's case? You have speeding, seatbelt violation, and an M4 driving under a forfeiture.
So it's a driver.
It's just driving under a license forfeiture, but because of your priors, it's an M4. But there's no mandatory time on it.
There is none?
Not on that.
He said at the beginning, he said, I got to do 6 months. So why are we worried about all this shit? You're not getting out. You're doing 6 months, bud. Easy
Right.
does it.
Robinson, you understand your rights in court today?
Yes, sir.
Did you receive a copy of the complaint?
Yes, sir.
Did you read it? Do you understand what you've been charged with?
Yes, sir.
It charged you with what we would colloquially call domestic violence threat. So they're not alleging that you caused or attempted to cause physical harm to somebody. They're alleging that by threat of force, you knowingly caused a family or household member to believe that you would cause them imminent physical harm. So as a 4th-degree misdemeanor, carries up to 30 days in jail, up to a $250 fine. How do you want to plead?
No, not guilty, Your Honor.
And what is your current address?
It was 8072 Pope Path, but I'm probably going to move due to the court. In this case, I probably will move to 5th Church Place in Groveport until this case is.
I mean, that might be a good idea, right?
Yeah, I mean, most of them think they're going back though. I mean, I've seen so many people that are like,
At least he understands the facts of the case, and he might not be welcome back there. Maybe.
That's all I got. It's the number 5 BIRCH Place.
Okay.
That's Birch, by the way.
Birch, like the tree, like a birch tree.
Birch, BIRCH.
Got it.
I believe that's how you spell it.
And you
He's
said
no
that's
lumberjack, Your
Groveport?
Honor.
Yes, sir.
Do you have any idea what the zip is there?
I do not. I'm originally not from Columbus, but I just know my way around through GPS.
You ever try Birch beer?
Cincinnati, Ohio, sir. But I've been living.
Obviously, he's never written a letter, though. He doesn't even know the zip code where he lives. I use GPS. I don't need a zip code, Your Honor. For hell's sake.
That wasn't good for me.
Fair enough. All right, let me take a quick look here at the file.
Well, he does that. This jittery man down here named David was just bouncing around like crazy. But of course, I go over to it, and he's
In Paris.
But at least I got this for you.
That's all, folks.
Perfect. We're still reading.
Oh, I know. I did. That's why I knew we got time. When he digs into a case, we know we've got some.
He's gonna do some reading.
I mean, she even spoke on my behalf when the officers came and said I didn't do anything, and I was what they was accusing me of. I didn't do that. So,
Grigsby, you don't have a pen pal? Come on, it's 2022. Man.
Okay.
Get with it.
Yeah. What do you do on your off time, man? You want to send postcards to family?
Thinking of you this holiday season.
That's right.
yeah, we actually have a baby coming, and I've been working, so I'm like, yeah, this it's a lot.
Yeah. I just had COVID, Your Honor. Probably going to have it again here pretty soon. Sucking his thumb or eating his nail.
On his nails. When she asked me what the zip code was and called me an idiot, I got very upset. I couldn't help but threaten her. I said, I knocked you up and I'm going to knock you out.
Staring into his ear, jumping all around.
All right, here's what we're going to do, Mr. Robinson. I will release you on your own recognizance on several conditions. Number one, you're not to have any violent contact with any family or household members, so I'm not putting on a complete no contact order.
Okay.
But if
I can go home, like I can go back.
Yeah, yes, you can go back, but if the police get called, even if you don't get charged, if there's credible evidence that you were physical, your bond can get revoked, and as you know, you'd sit in the jail until.
Yeah, yes, sir. She's pregnant with a broken hand, Your Honor. I would never do nothing like that. Like, I don't even know how this even came about.
All right. The other two conditions are you're not to consume any alcohol or drugs, and you're not to be in possession of any weapons. All right. So
Yes,
this case is going to be randomly assigned to a judge, set for a trial. Until and unless a lawyer gets involved, you're going to be sent notice directly to the address on your bond. So make sure it's current, complete, and correct. Furthermore, let me verify something here. I don't believe you're being held on anything else, but let's make sure that that's true.
Go on.
Nope, doesn't look like you are. So you should be getting out, but that means you have to turn in your application for court-appointed counsel. The jail's not going to do it for you. Understand?
Yes, sir. Or could I bring my own attorney if I was to come to trial?
If you want to hire your own, you have that right too. But the main thing is just don't wait until the day of trial to deal with getting a lawyer. All right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Any other questions today, Mr. Robinson?
No, Your Honor.
Very well. You may go with the officer. Thank you.
I'm telling you,
Michael,
is pregnant, Creed.
Out of all the licking we have.
Good afternoon, sir. Are you Mr.
This
Stanton?
is some of the most normal.
Yes, sir. And Mr. Stanton, do you understand your right to report today?
Yes, sir.
Did you receive a copy of the two complaints that were filed against you?
Yes, sir.
Did you read those and do you understand what it is you've been charged with?
Yes, sir.
First count is domestic violence, a misdemeanor of the first degree, which carries up to 180 days in the county jail, up to $1,000 fine. Second count is unlawful restraint. That's a third degree misdemeanor. That carries up to a $500 fine, up to 60 days in the county jail. How do you want to plead to the charges?
I'm guilty.
You say not guilty?
Not guilty.
Oh, my goodness.
I think it's.
All right. What's your current address?
83 South 3rd Street, North Ohio.
He's a lot like Gilbert, doesn't he?
Maybe.
And are you employed?
Bailiff is falling asleep now.
Busy protecting the judge.
I'm here at landscaping.
Do you have a company or do you just freelance?
I freelance.
Thank you.
All right. Let me take a quick look here at the file, then we're going to talk about your bond. So bear with me one moment.
I thought I heard that too, Sweet Pix.
We got a great compliment comments the other day. It said, this is very juvenile commentary, but very good court.
Well, yeah, pretty spot on.
Win some, you lose some.
Sounds about right. I'm sorry, we should be standing up straight and just sitting here in silence. That'd make a great channel.
Again, a very small person fighting. I'm a landscape.
Thank you.
Best podcast in town.
still sleeping but thinking very hardly now.
It's a dream sequence.
All right, now, Mr. Stan, I'm going to give you an opportunity to make a statement before I make any decisions regarding your bond, but it's probably not wise to talk about what may or may not have happened because everything you're saying right now is being recorded and could possibly be used against you. So is there anything you do want to say about bond?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you, Michael.
Thank you, thank you. He's got nothing to say. He said, my actions speak louder than my words, Your Honor. Do what you will. Somebody running a copier back there?
All right. Well, Mr. Stan, based upon the information contained in the court file, specifically the allegations made in connection with these charges, as well as your rather extensive criminal history, I'll set bond at $10,000, cash surety or 10%, no alcohol and drugs, no contact with Joyce Stanton, so you can't call her from the jail. If you post your bond and get released, you can't have any contact with her. If you are able to post your bond and you need to retrieve belongings from the South 3rd Street address, you'll need to arrange for what's called a police standby, where they would meet you at the house to allow you to go in and retrieve some of your belongings. We can't go there just because you quote unquote know she won't be there at a certain time. Now, this case is going to be randomly assigned to a judge and set for a trial. You'll get notice by mail of when that's going to be. You have the right to apply for court-appointed counsel and can get an application form from the jail. If you're unable to post your bond, they will send it down here for you. Any questions?
No, Your Honor. Or actually, yes, I do one. She has a food stamp card. It's in her name. And what it was is she called the food stamp office and obtained food stamps for me that's on her card. And she had I had no about it. She even did this. Now, what am I supposed to do about that?
Talk to your lawyer. Any other questions?
What a D-bag. He's throwing her under the bus now after he beat her up. He's going to throw her under the bus about some food stamps. Asshole.
Thank you,
Mr. Steinhoff, correct?
Yes, sir. Good afternoon. Yes.
Good afternoon. Mr. Steinhoff, you're here because I issued a warrant for your arrest earlier this month when you failed to appear for a change of plea hearing. Your attorney, Mr. Dawson, is withdrawn as counsel of record. So if you want to have an attorney before you resolve this case, you will have to fill out a new application or hire counsel. That being said, what we're going to do today is simply set a bond for you, and then we're going to get this thing rescheduled, presumably for a change of plea, but we can have it set for a trial depending on how you want to proceed. What is your current address?
5120 Main Street Southwest, Pataskala.
And zip code out there?
Am I the only one that's kind of
43062.
bummed because
Right.
you don't
And
have
are you
anybody
employed?
sitting in the pews today?
No, sir.
Did you say yes or no? I'm sorry.
No, sir.
All right. Anything you want to say about why you didn't show up or bond in general?
Yeah, I guess my attorney didn't notify me about the court appointment. I didn't get anything in the mail at all. His staff gave me a voicemail message about a few hours before the court date was scheduled to take place, and I didn't get that message until about an hour after it was too late.
Good defense.
Now, you got arrested at your home,
That's correct, sir.
and that was on Friday. Why were the police at your house?
I believe for the warrant.
So they were just checking to see if you were there to arrest you on the warrant?
That's my understanding, yes.
Okay. I mean, they weren't called there because somebody called.
Oh, no, certainly not.
Long neck.
He's a long neck Mac Daddy.
Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. When I issue the warrant for your arrest, I set your bond at $2,500 cash surety or 10%. I'm going to leave that bond in that amount in order that the matter be rescheduled. Typically, we will reschedule it for the type of hearing that was originally supposed to take place. So for you, that would be a change of plea and sentencing. If you ultimately change your plea to guilty or no contest, and if you're convicted of the offense, the time that you're being held in lieu of bond is credited towards any sentence that's imposed. And you are looking at mandatory time, as you know, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you're looking at a mandatory minimum 60, it looks like, because they're alleging this would be a third in a 10-year period. So if you want to get a lawyer, fill that out right away. They have the application down there at the jail. If you don't want one, you don't have to have one, but you will be transported over here if you're unable to post that bond. If you do post
Okay.
the bond, make sure you show up, because if you don't, you and whoever posted it for you is on the hook for the full $2,500. All right?
Understood. Yes, sir.
All right. So, Mr. Steinhoff, any other questions today?
No, sir.
You may go with the bailiff. Thank you, or the officer. Thank you.
Thank you.
Gross, Carol.
Randy Wagner.
Do you make like a mix where you put like black olives and black licorice
Good
together?
afternoon, Miss Wagner. You understand your rights?
Yes.
All right. You're here because Judge George issued a warrant for your arrest when you didn't show up for court. Looks like you were scheduled for court back on... What day were you supposed to be there? August the 2nd. So what happened? How come you didn't make it to the court?
Because I didn't even remember that I had court, because I don't even have a mailbox right now, and I'm very tired, and I was just very sick. I was very sick, and I've been very, very sick. And I didn't even remember that I had it because I didn't want to miss the court date. I didn't want to miss the court date because I don't want to be in trouble no more. And I keep forgetting stuff because I'm not stressed out. And my skin is so itchy I can't even talk sometimes. My skin gets so itchy I can't talk, and it's not supposed to be that itchy.
Breathe,
I don't know anybody else who has skin that's that itchy.
Well, the good thing is, I mean, normally if you were, I was seeing you on a Monday morning, it meant you got picked up on a new charge plus the old one. This one, you didn't have any new charges. So that's a plus, right?
Yeah.
All right. You know what else is a plus? I'm going to release you on your own recognizance today, and this will be rescheduled with Judge George. He will send you notice, but now, Ms. Wagner, you can
I
always...
don't even remember what George looks like because
What?
I have my friend Ryan, and Ryan's going to help me, and I believe him because last time when I was this sick, Ryan showed up last time I was this sick, and I was awake, and that was before I couldn't remember what I was doing.
All right. Well, what is your mailing address? Where do you want us to send the notice? To the 65 Bessemer Drive?
I don't have a mailbox, Stan.
Yeah.
Okay. And Ms. Wagner, you can always, if you can't remember when your court date is, you can always stop by the city building and go up to the clerk's office and ask, or you can call them, or you can check online. But I'm sure Judge George wants to resolve this as much as you do.
I did that before, and they told me that I...
Diabetes. What the hell has she said?
I don't know.
Did she say she doesn't know what Judge George looks like?
That's exactly what she said.
I don't know what that matters, but okay.
I'll OR you today. You're going to get a new court date. Make sure you show up, deal with it, get it over and done with. And like you said, you don't want to be getting in trouble anymore. That's up to you. All right?
Okay.
All right, Ms. Wagner, you may go with the officer. Thank you. Good luck. Joshua Wright.
Well played, Miss Wagner. Well played.
Boy, she came in.
Good afternoon, sir. You Mr. Wright?
And they got some people.
Did you get a copy of the let me back up. You understand your rights?
Yes, sir.
Did you get a copy of the complaint?
I didn't get a copy, no.
Yours would have been white and folded in 3.
No, I did not get that.
All right. Well, the Heath Police Department is alleging that on or about July the 30th of this year within the city of Heath and in Lincoln County, Ohio, that you, without privilege to do so, did recklessly enter or remain on the land or premises of another, as to which notice against unauthorized access or presence is given by actual communication to the offender. That is commonly known as criminal trespass. It is a 4th-degree misdemeanor and carries up to 30 days jail, up to a $250 fine. Looks like they're claiming it was red storage. That being said, how do you want to plead?
I'm guilty.
Did you say guilty or not guilty?
Guilty, sir.
Okay. Now, you have the right to an attorney. If you couldn't afford one, we'd give you one for free. Well, you're going to waive that right today?
Yes, sir.
You have a right to a trial with the judge or jury, a right to confront your accusers, a right to compel the attendance of your own witnesses, and a right not to testify without it being held against you. If you plead guilty, you admit that you did this. They don't have to prove anything. You waive those rights. Understand?
Yes, sir.
And I will send you today if I accept your plea. The only other question I have for you is, are you a citizen of the United States of America?
Yes, sir.
All right. Anything you want to say about what happened?
I'm homeless, and I used to own the storage unit that my grandmother owns.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've been up for a long time, and I actually just fell asleep. I was going to get up and leave, but fell asleep, and the guy caught me there. He asked me to
Mike,
leave.
we got
I
a live
left.
one, on
Say that again.
in Dallas County right now.
There's a chase.
there is. Do you want
and ran
to?
into the
Yeah, we are going to leave is what we're going to do. And we'll be back in just a minute with a chase. Because we're already an hour 40 into this. Creed frame. Creed frame. Creed frame. Woo! Good to see everybody. We're going to jump out of here. We're going to go to the chase. Hopefully it won't end. Maybe Creed will be unfrozen by then. Yeah. So we'll see you back here in just a minute for a chase. Until next time, please like this video and pray for
out there. A lot of cars.
Welcome back. Anyways, got a live one on
drivers
Dallas
and
here
have
to.
no idea.
Yeah, I signed off for, so we're leaving right now and jumping back on.
Okay.
And